Assalamualaikum and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're now with me, Yusuf Shukri, for TVS Nightline, and here are the headlines for tonight. Parents who use their children for content creation are increasingly seen as problematic and must be stopped immediately. Dato' Seri Nancy Shukri said overexposure online may put children at risk, including the leaking of private information and child exploitation. More on that later. Also, Minister of Communications Dato' Fahmi Fadzil announced the enforcement of the Online Safety Act by the end of this year. The law will be regulated with the use of AI to combat the spread of false information and defamation. And on world news, the European Union (EU) will extend its suspension of tariffs on goods imported from the US until early August, despite Washington's decision to slap a 30% levy on imports from the bloc. First, some updates from Sarawak. Malaysia incurs nearly 20 billion ringgit in annual losses due to road accidents, according to a study by the Malaysian Institute of Road Safety Research, MIROS. Deputy Minister of Urban Planning, Land Administration and Environment, Dato' Len Talif Saleh, highlighted that these losses encompass not only property damage and lives, but also a significant financial burden on the government. He emphasized that despite the government's continued investment in road systems and infrastructure, some road users still neglect safety measures.
Dianggarkan sebanyak 19 sampai 20 bilion. Mun di Sarawak itulah, mun di Malaysia itulah, hampir 20 bilion. Bilion dia 90. 9 ringgit kosong ke? Punya jutanya 6 untuk 9. Dengan 2 ujung ke? Palak ya. 20 juta. 20 bilion kerugian dicatatkan setahun akibat kemalangan mengikut kajian yang telah dijalankan oleh pihak MIROS. Bayangkan, sekira kita dapat mengurangkan kemalangan ini, bermakna kita dapat jimatkan kos dari semua aspek sektor, termasuklah perubatan, insurans dan sebagainya.
He emphasized that initiatives such as traffic education and license assistance will only be effective if recipients truly embrace their responsibilities as road users. He urged all My Lesen 8 recipients to set an example by demonstrating courteous and law-abiding behavior on the roads. Len Talif further highlighted that achieving the government's goal of reducing road accident fatalities by 50% by 2030 will require a shift in attitudes and responsible driving practices. Despite modern road and bridge developments in Sarawak's interior, rivers remain a vital lifeline for thousands of residents in Telang Usan and Ulu Baram. Bara Member of Parliament Dato' An Yi Ngau said rivers are not just waterways but serve as crucial transportation routes for rural communities, especially during the rainy season or floods that disrupt road access.
Tapi sekarang mungkin sungai ini berkurangan digunakan, tetapi tidak dinafikan bahawa jalan memang menjadi our main mode of communication yang bermanfaat. Tetapi the importance of river, the services of the river is still a very critical part of our life. Lebih-lebih lagi kita di kawasan pedalaman, di mana jalan dia perlu diperbaiki, di mana jembatan dia perlu di-repair. Jadi sungai juga boleh dikatakan dulu dia memang nombor satu alternatif, tetapi sekarang ini dah jadi mungkin second alternative.
He also stressed the urgent need to clean and restore rivers that are becoming shallower due to silt deposits and natural blockages in order to ensure they remain safe and functional for community use. He also pointed out the declining water levels in the Apoh and Pelutan rivers, which require immediate attention to maintain their status as vital transport routes. Additionally, he highlighted the tourism potential of the rivers in Ulu Baram, an area known for its rich cultural heritage, natural wonders, and lush tropical rainforests. On to our next update. The Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development, KPWKM, plans to introduce specific legislation to protect children from digital safety risk and cybercrime amid growing online threats. Its Minister Datuk Seri Nancy Shukri said Malaysia currently lacks comprehensive legislation specifically targeting children's digital safety, and it's time to prioritise this issue.
Kita memang usahakannya, kita tidak belum lagi ada undang-undang, tetapi diusahakan sebab ini perkara yang perlu kita lakukan untuk negara-negara. Seperti mana ada juga di negara lain yang telah establish the laws for them, tapi kita masih belum lagi. Cuma insyaAllah akan ada yang kita lakukan. Pertama sekali melalui CRC itu kita akan ada perbincangan bersama melalui UNICEF. Banyak negara-negara lain bersama dengan kita juga di CRC itu untuk kita mendengar input dan memberi input.
UNICEF reports that 83% of Malaysian children are exposed to online risks, such as cyberbullying, sexual exploitation, and misinformation, while 40% do not know how to protect themselves online. In a related development, parents who use their children for content creation are increasingly seen as problematic and must be stopped immediately. Following her announcement on an ongoing bill that is being drafted to protect children online, Nancy said constant online exposure may lead to various risks online, including exploitation and abuse of private information.
Kalau dilihat dari social media, dari TV pun malah ada iklan-iklan untuk pastikan janganlah guna kanak-kanak sebagai di antara digunakan oleh ibu bapa sendiri sebab mereka rasa anaknya cute masuk dalam TV, masuk social media. Ini kita tidak menggalakkan kerana ia boleh membawa padah kepada keluarga.
Additionally, Nancy added the Children Protection Advocacy Program under her ministry will be expanded to schools, informing teachers, students and parents alike on the danger of overexposure on social media. Minister of Communications, Datuk Fahmi Fazil, anticipates the enforcement of the Online Safety Act by the end of this year. He explained that the law will be regulated with the use of AI intelligence, or rather artificial intelligence, on social media to combat the spread of false information and defamation. He also highlighted examples of platforms that label AI-generated content, such as videos or images, to inform users of their origin.
Mungkin kita akan pertimbangkan keperluan melalui contoh Online Safety Act ataupun Akta Keselamatan dalam Talian yang akan berkuasa insya-Allah hujung tahun ini.
The implementation of the Online Safety Act 2024 and the social media licensing framework enforced since January 1st are seen as crucial in protecting users from cybercrime. At the same time, Fahmi said the Kuala Lumpur Declaration on Safe and Responsible Use of Social Media Platforms for ASEAN is set to be adopted during the 47th ASEAN Summit in October 2025. He explained that with the declaration, ASEAN will also play a role in curbing AI abuse on social media, including deception and defamation. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim has announced a 1 million ringgit allocation for the Kuala Lumpur Football Association, or KLFA, to support football development in the capital. He emphasised that while football is a people's sport, infrastructure improvements are crucial to its advancement.
Soal dana saja, tapi prasarana mesti cukup. Kemudahan pada tempat latihan, akademi latihan, dan ini akan memberikan kesempatan bagi anak-anak kita dilatih dengan baik dan dengan selesa.
Anwar also stressed the need to maintain good sportsmanship, especially among fans whose behaviour sometimes undermines unity.
Tapi kalau kalah tidak semestinya dicerca. Kalau yang bertarung itu bekerja sedaya upaya mereka, Kerana dalam pasukan ada menang ada kalah. Kita harus menang. Kita mesti menang. Tapi jangan cerca orang yang kalah atau yang cerca pemain-pemain kita yang kalah. Ini budaya yang sebenarnya bukan dari budaya bangsa kita, bukan budaya dari negara kita.
At the same time, he also instructed the Royal Malaysia Police (PDRM) to monitor incidents that may tarnish the image of national football, aligning with sports as a unifying and healthy lifestyle tool. Anwar emphasized that associations like KLFA must also uphold sportsmanship and unity values among players and supporters. Now, despite broader regional challenges, Malaysia leads Southeast Asia's initial public offering IPO performance in the first half of the year, Deloitte data showed. The firm said in a recent report that Malaysia recorded approximately 48% year-on-year increase in the number of listings to 32, with IPO amount raised increasingly by approximately 109% to 940 million USD, along with a corresponding uptick in total IPO market capitalization by approximately 165% to 4.04 billion USD. According to Deloitte Malaysia Transactions Accounting Support Partner Wong Kar Chun, the IPO outlook in Malaysia remains optimistic for the remainder of 2025, with 32 listings recorded as of June 30th, 2025, putting Bursa Malaysia on track toward its full-year target of 60 listings. However, he noted the recent U.S. trade tariffs and geopolitical tension have introduced uncertainty, and he foresees that there could be an impact to the IPO market. According to him, this situation may lead to cautious investor sentiments as investors may adopt a more cautious approach and favor less risky assets during this uncertain period. Additionally, he opined that companies may delay their IPO plans, especially for export-driven companies that is affected by supply chain disruptions and cost pressures. He also anticipates that the consumer industry with well-established brand names will continue to be the cornerstone of Malaysia's economic landscape and are poised to leverage their strong market presence to tap on the IPO capital market opportunities. The European Union (EU) will extend its suspension of tariffs on goods imported from the US until early August, despite Washington's decision to slap a 30% levy on imports from the bloc. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said the US has sent a letter to the Union with measures that would come into effect unless there is a negotiated solution.
We have always been very clear that we prefer a negotiated solution. This remains the case, and we will use the time that we have since the very beginning. We have worked and now are ready to respond with countermeasures. We've prepared for this, and we can respond with countermeasures if necessary.
In a letter sent to von der Leyen and posted on Truth Social, US President Donald Trump complained of the long-term, large and persistent trade deficit the US has with the EU, accusing the 27-nation bloc of unfair trade policies and barriers. Trump wrote that his administration would drop the high tariff rate if the European Union or countries within the EU decide to build or manufacture within the United States. See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally, just a click away. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our website at tvsarawak.my or follow us on social media platforms. That's Elias TV Sarawak. And those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Yusuf Shukri. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum and good night.